What's up guys, BltzZ here today bringing you another video. In today's video we're talking about the top secrets fight for Sonon and Yuffie in Final Fantasy VII Remake Intermission, Yuffie's DLC. This top secrets fight is much more easier than the vanilla remakes version. There are 3 rounds and one boss is very squishy. The mechanics are much more easier to exploit this time around as well, especially with this method we are about to showcase. First things first, shout out to the YouTube channel BltzNX. That man is a god at this game and continues to break past barriers when it comes to battle mechanics. If you have not yet, I definitely recommend checking out his channel for some more amazing looks at godlike combat. This method we will be using is a magic based approach and in my opinion is probably the easiest way to defeat this fight. No, that's not an overstatement. I mean, really, this fight becomes easy mode with Yuffie and Sonon when you throw magic into the mix. That's also considering with how these enemies are slightly nerfed versions of themselves from Remake. That is without a doubt the case in this fight. Now, with all that being said, let's get into this video. When it comes to the build for this fight, we are going to be using the boomerang weapon for Yuffie. This is her magic focus weapon and is a major key for this method. We will be using the Chthonian armlet and pairing this with the Gozu drive. The Gozu drive increases Yuffie's damage further based on where her current health is at. So if you're at full health, you are dealing extra damage. Anything less, it's not a big deal. I've also tried the Mizu drive as well, but that depends on you having less MP, which is good for longer fights, but this method will make these fights much more faster, trust me. And now let's talk about the materia for this build. We have to have a fully maxed out elemental materia paired with the wind materia. If you want to level up your materia fast, be sure to check out my farming AP video for Yuffie and Sonon. These 2 links are very important in order to steamroll Ramuh almost instantly. A fully maxed out lightning materia is also really important as it's the main magic attack that Yuffie and Sonon will be spamming non-stop to keep enemies locked and deal quick damage. ATB boost is essential for Yuffie to ensure that we keep a constant flow of abilities and spells being launched out continuously. A MP up and magic up to make sure that we can cast a lot of magic spells and deal the most damage that we can with them. We also have a revival materia and a barrier. Not that we're going to be using them, but they are here because they boost magic stats even further, which increases your overall damage. So they are super important to have on this build. First strike materia, so the beginning of the fight is in your favor and you can start off with spells. ATB assist is a major key on Yuffie so she can give Sonon back ATB when double casting Thundagas. Sonon as a character generates ATB very slowly, so it's important for us to essentially feed him ATB constantly. And that's it for Yuffie's build. Now for Sonon, we want the Indurate staff to deal the most physical attack damage. This will help Sonon pressure the bosses much more quickly compared to his other weapons. The Firebird armlet is a good thing to have on him in case he dies, he can come back with reprieve. You can swap this out with a 4-slot armlet for space if you need it. The Kindred cord is a must have always for Sonon. Like I said before, he does not generate ATB as fast or as easily as Yuffie does, and we cannot directly control him technically. So using this will make sure that he maintains a healthy amount of ATB to maximize his damage output. Now for his materia build. Sonon needs lightning materia so he can help deal damage and Aga stun the shit out of the enemies. I paired it with an MP absorb, but you can put whatever you want here, even an HP absorb if he's getting hurt a lot, or throw a barrier, revive, or time materia here for more magic attack stats. ATB stagger materia is super important for Sonon. Once the enemy gets staggered, he will get at least half of an ATB bar, which means we can deal more damage altogether. Keep this on Sonon. Okay, this dude gets hit a lot and there's not really much you can do about it except call him back towards you with the synergy button. So I put 2 HP ups on him to max out his health and give us more room to play with. First strike materia is a must have of course, and an MP up to maximize his casting spell capabilities. Revival materia for more magic attack stats and a luck up materia to make sure he deals crits and can pressure enemies quicker. If you are missing any of these materias such as luck up, HP up, MP absorb, and magic up, you need to get them in chapter 1. After each Fort Condor match, make sure you check the Sector 7 tunnel vendor, because he will have a new materia available for you in between matches. Now on Yuffie's boomerang, you will need the skill called Thievery to give her the ability called Mug. Originally, I wrote off Mug in my combat video for Yuffie. Please ignore my ignorance. Mug is super OP and is a must-have to pressure enemies very quickly. Please slot it on your shortcuts bar because you will be needing it for this fight. For Sonon's abilities, the main 2 we will be using are the Twirling Lunge and Fighting Spirit. Fighting Spirit is super important as it makes Sonon aggressive. When this is active, he is relentless on attacks and is non-stop building ATB quickly. causing pressure quickly, and of course dealing massive damage. We need Fighting Spirit. And that's pretty much everything you guys need, so now let's get into this video and talk about this method. As soon as the fight starts, use Fighting Spirit with Sonon and move Yuffie to the left to face Bahamut away from Sonon. Once Bahamut attacks Yuffie, use Brumal Form twice to dodge his attacks and immediately cast Thundaga. Throw the Shuriken after that and use ATB boost to get Yuffie to 2 ATB bars, and then immediately cast Thundaga again with Yuffie. Once it hits, now you can cast a Thundaga with Sonon and begin doing Yuffie's range magic stance attacks to build ATB since the Shuriken is on Bahamut. The trick here is to keep generating ATB with Yuffie and cast her Thundaga and Sonon's Thundaga at 2 different intervals to limit Bahamut's abilities. Once Bahamut is pressured, tap L2 to synergize Yuffie and Sonon and press triangle to teleport Yuffie to Bahamut where her Shuriken is. Now just keep mashing square here to get Yuffie and Sonon into that hilarious ninja dive bomb animation. This will increase enemies' pressure bar by a lot. Keep at it and Bahamut will get back up eventually. Once he gets up, immediately press triangle to get Yuffie in his face and use Mug once. Mug will immediately pressure Bahamut again and make sure Yuffie is holding her Shuriken, and then keep mashing square, which will make them do the dive bomb again and stagger Bahamut. Once he is staggered, use Synergize Windstorm to increase his stagger percent. Generate ATB quickly with Yuffie, then use Synergize Art of War. After that is done, now you can use Twirling Lunge on Sonon to deal damage and spam triangle with Yuffie to generate 1 ATB bar quickly. Immediately cast Banishment level 3 and it should kill Bahamut or bring him close to death. Now if Bahamut does not die here, he will summon Ifrit. And if that happens, don't panic at all. If you don't feel like you're going to kill Bahamut with Banishment, save it then. If Ifrit does come out, keep focusing on Bahamut and spam triangle and aerial attacks to kill him. Brumal Form is your best friend to avoid Bahamut's attacks. Just keep dodging until you get your chance, and then once you kill Bahamut, cast the Ice Ninjutsu ability on Yuffie. Throw your Shuriken at Ifrit and keep spamming magic range attacks with Square. 2 of these will pressure him easily, and then you can just cast Thundaga with Sonon or keep attacking with magic attacks from Yuffie. Banishment level 3 will still be here if you saved it, and you can now cast an iced out version of it to deal massive damage to Ifrit. His health pool is very small and Yuffie makes quick work with him. And now, time for Ramuh. When it comes to Ramuh's crusty ass, start off with L2 to synergize Yuffie and Sonon, get close, and use Synergize Windstorm to shred Ramuh's health bar. Walk to the left after that to avoid his 11 arrows and use ATB boost. Ramuh here will either teleport away from you or hit you with Luminous Falchion. It's weird. Brumal Dodge to avoid these, or Perfect Block the attacks to gain a barrier on Yuffie. They're pretty easy to time. I prefer to Perfect Block them. Whatever works for you. Honestly, all you have to do here is just keep using Synergized Windstorm over and over again. At least 3 or 4 of them will kill Ramuh. If Ramuh uses Lightning Bolts or Thunderous Orbs, just dodge away with Circle like I did to avoid them. The Windstorm spam is GOAT tier, so just make sure you keep doing it. He'll be dead very soon. If Ramuh uses the Charged Beam attacks, you can Perfect Block them or Brumal Form dodge them, whatever works for you. But really, just keep spamming Synergized Windstorms, and thanks to Elemental Materia plus Wind Materia, he will die super quickly. And now for a familiar enemy who's even more of a pushover this time around, the Pride and Joy. Soon as the fight starts, walk Yuffie away from Pride and Joy, and before they use the catch ability to grab Sonon, tap L2 to teleport Sonon to Yuffie to avoid it. We need this for Aerith. Immediately cast Lightning Ninjutsu on Yuffie and cast a Thundaga with Sonon. After this, unsynergize so Sonon can start building ATB much more quicker. Throw Yuffie Shuriken and ATB boost for 2 bars and cast Thundaga immediately with Yuffie, and now we repeat exactly what we did during the Bahamut fight, alternating Thundagas with Yuffie and Sonon, and doing your best to keep 1 ATB bar on Yuffie at all times in case the boss does the Beam Cannon attack so she can dodge it easily because it's a 1-hit KO. If the boss gets pressured, you can tap L2 to synergize and get in with triangle to start dive bombing to raise a stagger, but be aware to Brumal dodge its attacks from here and don't overcommit to stagger. We will have another chance very soon. Resort back to Thundaga spamming, and if he does Beam Cannon on Yuffie, Brumal dodge to avoid it and go back to Thundaga spam over and over again. Do your best to not get hit by those missiles it starts launching from its wrist. Use Thundaga with Sonon to interrupt him, or try to dodge continuously with Yuffie and then eventually get her back into the Thundaga spam rotation. Beam Cannon is coming out here for me. Just wait 2 seconds and then press Brumal dodge at least 2 times to ensure that you avoid it. Once that is done, go back to Thundaga spamming and range attacks, and you got this fight in the bag. Once it's staggered or almost dead, you you can use the Lightning Banishment level 3 attack to completely destroy it almost immediately. And from there, you've got this challenge smashed entirely. Yuffie and Sonon definitely went up against a older build of the VR opponents compared to Cloud in them, but their kit and synergy together do tremendous work. It's really amazing. It makes me really super excited to see the combat for the future of Final Fantasy VII Remake. Again, shoutouts to Malice NX for bringing us this amazing method and many others. This is a super fun one and one of my favorite methods to go about it because we just break the game's mechanics and make the bosses look silly in the process. And that wraps it up for this video, guys. Let me know what you all think about this in the comments below and how this method worked out for you. Top Secrets was a highly requested one to come out first before Vice, so you know what's up next, guys. We have the Vice VR Fight Guide coming soon. I'm looking to release that on Saturday, so, stay tuned for that to drop, and make sure you drop a like on this one if you guys enjoyed it. The PlayStation 5 giveaway is going on right now for members only, so make sure you join a tier today so you guys don't miss out on that. Subscribe and help raise this bar up a little bit higher because we just hit 42k subs and are on our way to 50,000 soon. What a milestone, guys. Be sure to like the video if you enjoyed and subscribe if you are new. More Final Fantasy VII Remake videos are coming your way and you won't want to miss them. My name is BltzZ and thanks for watching.